99% of a brand's success comes down to making your ads attractive to the right buyer. We're talking about rich, wealthy customers. Let's be honest for a second. It doesn't matter what you sell. Rich customers have 3 points in common. They buy more often and they pay more. So the brands that are making millions today, that are successful, that you see online and you're just wondering like what makes these businesses thrive while you're still spinning your wheels, offering steep discounts and destroying your brand equity just to get that fast sale. How are they thriving? Well, their success comes down to a very particular set of principles that are applied meticulously through their ads so that they can attract the right buyer at the right price on repeat. And this is what I call the premium ad formula. Now, if you're wondering who I am, my name is Omar. I'm the founder at Growth Labs. We're a growth partner. We've been so for the past 7 years, helping brands scale. And the core angle of our philosophy is that if you know your customers better than your competitors know them, you will essentially eat out every single competitor and you will clean house. That is our philosophy. And we've been very fortunate to do it for brands that have been featured on Shark Tank. We've connected with some of the wealthiest families in Europe that wanted to apply this stuff. And for some brands that are exiting right now as we speak for multiple 7 figures, which we took from literally 0 up to that point using that philosophy. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some very key principles that you can start applying right away, by the way, on your ads and see results so that you can start attracting the right buyers at the right price and get people to come back to your products. But before we look at specific examples, what I wanted to tackle first is define what is premium. You know, a lot of brands come to me and they say, hey, I'm building a premium brand. What does premium even mean? And when you ask them, people have no idea what premium means. So what I wanted to do is bring you back to the context of 2026. You see, most founders take their creative strategy and they essentially apply a quantity game. The more ads they launch, the better. A lot of brands, a lot of gurus that you see online on videos, they tell you just launch more ads and you'll end up being successful. If your win rate is 5% and you're just trying to spin your wheels, you don't care about quality, you're just spinning your wheels and launching more ads, then sure, you will inevitably get some ads that will spend and that will eventually scale. That's not the game we're playing here. We're playing the quality game combined with some element of quantity. I personally prefer having deep research and every single ad anchored to a specific psychological trigger, a specific awareness, so that you can then tackle your entire funnel and you're actually speaking the language of your customers rather than just, you know, taking templates from Foreplay, Atria, all of these softwares. That's not how you can be successful and build something that's really worth building long term. So if you're scaling a 7-figure brand or an 8-figure brand and you're trying to attract the right buyers that drop thousands of dollars with you without a second thought, you have to realize that the buyer you're trying to attract has a very sensitive subconscious radar for deception if you're trying to lie to them, and desperation. If they feel that you're too needy and you need them, they're not buying for you. These people enjoy infinite optionality and making good use of it. Like all people with options, they like to go with the option that needs them less. What this means tactically is that less is more. You're not trying to convince everyone with every single method possible. There is literally no need to fill up every single pixel of your creative. You see, to appeal, your customers must feel that you're not trying to convince them, and instead that you're executing the verbal and non-verbal cues of luxury and premium. The biggest indicator of a brand that is cheap is they're trying to fill every single pixel of their creative. It's the fear of empty space. You see, mass market creatives or mass market brands, they treat the creative like commercial real estate. They need to optimize every single inch of that creative because empty space is essentially a lost opportunity. But when you look at high-end architectural design, what do you see? Let's say, for example, a luxury flagship apartment on Avenue Montaigne in Paris, or a minimalist residence in Malibu. In most cases, the primary asset that's being flexed on you is the empty space. You've got vast white walls, raw travertine stone, and isolated like focal points. Your eye actually has the energy and the space to go into these focal points, and that's the flex. And for your creative, it's the same thing. Your creative strategy needs to implement this philosophy in it to essentially show the premium aspect of your brand. First thing is the white space ratio. What you're saying here is that the product you're showing is valuable enough to deserve its own canvas. Like sitting in the center, there's a lot of negative space around it, and you're showing that value and that rarity of the product by essentially putting it as a focal point. Another thing is editorial typography. Think about all of the cheap fonts that you see today on all of these softwares that show you what templates brands are using, and it's too noisy. One of the major luxury heuristics is that if your customer struggles a little bit to read what you're offering, what you're saying, that triggers the premium perception that the customer has about your brand, because it signals that you don't need to scream with a bold headline to feel heard. And then the third point is the palette of restraint. If you can become a calm visual anchor for your customers, amidst all of the noise that's on social media, you will do very well because you will stand out in a way that's kind of goes against the grain. And since the majority of brands today can be considered as either commodities or cheap alternatives to luxury products, your brand will stand out by virtue of having a restrained palette of colors that you're using and visual cues that you're using in your creators. Premium consumers are highly sensitive to context. If you place a premium product in a kitchen with a cheap quartz countertop, for example, and you put harsh white lighting like in an office right above it, the human brain in a luxury consumer will instantly categorize it as a cheap commodity. Then you take that exact same product and you put it on an untreated, nice woody, natural wood slab, and you capture like the morning light, for example, the perceived value instantly increases 10x. When you're talking to rich buyers, you need to think about everything, right? It's not just about a product, it's about the universe. And you've seen me talk about this in previous videos where the narrative that you're crafting around your product is so important. And so many brands kind of hit that wall where they're trying to brute force their way to becoming a premium brand, but their product might be high quality, but the story they're telling around the business is just a cheap one, right? It's not a well thought story. It's not a well crafted narrative, and it just falls flat on its face because there's no depth in the story they're trying to say. So let's talk about how you can do it. The first thing is material authenticity. Think about all the textures, all the materials that you're using in your environment. What type of environment you're putting your product in. This needs to fit the premium narrative you're trying to tell. And the rule of thumb is avoid synthetic materials, synthetic lighting, keep it organic, keep it real, because you're trying to tell an organic story. Those are the stories that actually convert a customer into being a follower. If the authentic story is not supported by an authentic environment, then you essentially lost your customer. The moment you introduce a steep discount, that's the moment where you communicate to the customer that you need their cash more than they need your product. So many brands, unfortunately, kill their story by going too aggressive on the urgency mechanisms. Another thing is rich buyers understand the concept of value better than the traditional consumer from what we see. What this means is if you're trying too hard to convert them, they will be repelled by the urgency. Your creative needs to operate with the paradigm that every single penny that you're charging is worth it, and that you're entirely comfortable waiting for the right customer who can afford it. That's where the money is. If you take a look at some of the ads that they put out, you will never find the logo, or it's stitched in this hidden corner and you won't see it. And so what this tells us is that the extreme of the spectrum, they rely heavily on the environment they put their product in, because that tells a story on the subconscious level to our customers. And they would rather do that because that really shows that they're practicing extreme brand restraint rather than just slapping like a 50% off. Although these offers have their time and place, but if you're relying your entire acquisition strategy on those offers, you're not going to be a premium brand. Premium brands show absolute quiet confidence. I wanted to take a look at this specific ad from Momentous. So Momentous is arguably a very premium supplement company. They're doing a great job with their marketing. And if you take a look at this ad, you'll see exactly what I mean. Take a look at how they show you the texture, first of all, the play on the shadows, the font, the positioning of the headline, and the positioning of the product itself, what they're actually saying. It communicates such a luxury angle on a subconscious level when you take a look at it. And this is my own interpretation, by the way, but you can mirror this product to like a marble, some kind of an architectural type of ad. You can see the product. It's obvious that it's a chew and it's a supplement. However, on the subconscious level, you kind of see it as this fancy countertop, like this cross section of a fancy rock to play on the colors as well. Very, very smart. If you take a look at, for example, Hills, what they're doing here, it's a texture play. They're showing you an extreme close-up of the frame. They're showing you the engraving that's on like the side of the product. Again, look at the environment in which the product is placed, and the focal point is the product, but they're actually showing you, a play on texture here, and it's extremely premium. Just at first glance, you're just like, I need this. It's a real premium ad. And again, this is not done just randomly like that, right? It's a well thought out positioning that they're bringing in with this piece of creative. So what separates a premium brand from a commodity brand brand is not the capabilities of the manufacturing line. It's not. It's just the story that they're telling. And so if you take one thing from this video, take these principles, analyze your creatives. What about the headlines, the positioning, the type of fonts that you're using, the white space, the negative space? Are you using that, or are you overcrowding your creatives? What type of environment are you placing your product in? All of these questions, just take a few hours, go over your entire ad creative catalog and just judge them. Are you applying these principles or not? And as usual, if you're currently scaling your brand to 7 figures or even 8 figures, and you want to eliminate price resistance entirely by repositioning your creative angles and your creative strategy, you have a link in the description below where you can book a call with me so we can have a conversation. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentorship and one-on-one coaching, we also have a link down below. You can click on the link and we'll have a conversation to help you scale your brand in the next few months. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. As usual, cheers.